Hey there guys, happy Tuesday to you. I hope that you are having a wonderful Tuesday and a great start to your week. I have 2 new flow journals to go into the Etsy store today. I wanted to tell you guys how very much I appreciate your support over at the Etsy store. Thank you for buying the Traveler's Notebook journals. Thank you for buying the junk packs. I will be putting more junk packs together because, and these journals kind of reflect where I am right now. I'm de-stashing. I'm de-stashing and re-stashing because I have so many lovely things that I would like to use in journals. And I kind of have them packed away, and I don't want them packed away. I want to share the love with you guys, and just de-stashing some things allows me to use new things in the journals, and I really do like that. I love using new things, especially like old ephemera that we make new again by including them in these flow journals. These are the Big Bertha style flow journal. They are 6.5 by 9 by 2 3/8 on the spine. And we have about a 2 3/8 thickness on these books. I did not want to, I'm very cautious about bending the spine. You know, I try not to warp the spine too much on these babies because they are huge. When you think about it, these journals have just the pockets in them are about a whole size of scrapbook paper, so they are just packed with paper and fun. The first one I am calling Adelaide, and when I kind of Googled white porcelain blue, I got the word Adelaide, that this is an Adelaide pattern. So this little baby is Adelaide. She is made from curtains that my friend sent me. Now you can see right at the top, I took a seam ripper and just ripped the seam right out of these, but you will notice that there's this tiny line of stitching right here, but it is not there now because I took it out, but it's still, these are vintage curtains. And I don't know how long my pal had them. They are absolutely beautiful in pristine shape. So let's take a look at Miss Adelaide here. I love the name Adelaide. Adelaide is a place in Australia. This book is finished off with handmade paper beads, and that's another thing that I have handmade paper beads, and I'm kind of wanting to make a lot more, and there's a problem with that because I get addicted to it. And I am still using paper beads that I made last summer, but I'm ready to make some new beads, so I gotta kind of de-stash my old to make room for the new, right? That's kind of a philosophy of life as well. Gotta get rid of some of that. Gotta pass on the love to someone else before you can have that love coming back to you. Yeah, everybody say amen. Okay. Adelaide is finished with the number 24 brad. I love these Tim Holtz brads. I just think they're super applicable almost to everything in the whole wide world. Again, big honking journal, y'all. I'm kind of looking to see if I can get this in frame. I kind of can. We're starting off, of course, with pockets. We've got 5 signatures in here, 5 sets of 2 pockets. Fabric, papers for you to play with. I have some tea dyed and coffee dyed papers for you. This is an original piece of art. This is from one of my glue books. I think this is 2015. I was kind of really into the glue book thing. I love choosing words and then just like putting those words randomly together. This one says eclectic makeover, but she did, and then she let it shine, loosen up, revolution, she's not alone, research. So you've got tons and tons of words and concept here to make your own. This is I think this is from 1950. This is a birth announcement. and it still has the satin finish on this absolutely gorgeous piece of mid-century ephemera. I love bigger books because I can put in these really beautiful pieces, that are rather big pieces. There's the rest of the birth announcement. Is absolutely exquisite. A few like little calendar elements for you guys, some writing paper, the text pages that we're so fond of, and now you guys have 10 lessons that go along with your flow journal, so you can get the book and immediately start on projects. The flow journal lessons that's called How to Use a Flow Journal, and it's on YouTube, and of course it's free for you guys. This is a note from Mrs. Alkazan, I think, on the birth of this baby Harry. More of the glue book, some pattern paper for you to play with. Remember, these are large, large, large swatches of paper. So lots and lots of possibilities for you guys. You can make and create and do whatever you want. Interesting papers. These are our magazine pages. This is from a 1983, sort of like an encyclopedia. It was a very interesting encyclopedia. From birth to age 4, intellectual development is as great as it is from 4 to 18. I love this magazine. I don't remember the name of it, but the imagery in it is stunning, you guys. I love the way that can you see this? This is like an actual person kind of melting into a wall. I just love things like that. We've got some 2002 National Geographic magazines, images for you to play with, and now you know what to do with the magazine images, because I believe that was our first lesson, was how to use images from magazines. You can make flowers out of them. You can do rolled paper beads with the color blocks that are in those. Napkin for you to play with, a little bit of packaging that I've turned into a tag. We have vintage game ephemera from a subscriber. Thank you for sending this to us. We are going to love this. It's just neat. Oh man, Monopoly, the game of life, all kinds of things. Another big fabric swatch for you guys, a wax bag, some lace, 1960s ephemera, some sheet music. This is the song Superstar, and I did not realize that Leon Russell and Miss Bonnie Bramlett wrote this song. I think that is super cool. Papers for you to play with. We have some maps right here that just kind of fold out. This is some travel for you. So you can maybe plan your next vacation. Where are you going? Are you going somewhere fun? I loved my trip to Italy, y'all, and I find myself every day thinking, now what was I doing in Italy? It mostly involved drinking Prosecco and eating olives and, looking at the lagoon and the people and being, just spending time with my sister. That was it was a precious, precious time for us. What a blessing, for my 60th birthday. Here is, this is the other part of the wax bag. It's got a lot of stuff for you to play with right here, and even has like a chipboard flower for you to put on something and make it pretty. The vintage dictionary words are this. It starts out with clinic. This is from the 1942 Red Cross nursing manual. That thing is almost gone. I sure do hope that I stumble across another one, because it has been so much fun to work with. A little bit of poetry here, some calendar elements, a story about country music icons, Roy Acuff and Chet Atkins. I love the Chet Atkins quote. He says that we were so poor that it was 1950 before we knew that there had been a depression. Oh my goodness. Such a stunning guitar player. This is a vintage postcard. I think this one's from 1993. I love the writing on those. It's just so darn interesting. This is a check from 1901 and more paper for you guys to play with. We received some fun stuff from Miss Gail. This is a fleur-de-lis that she has embossed on some of her snazzy tea-dyed and coffee-dyed papers. More things for you to play with right here. I did kind of try and curate some pink for you guys. I love travel maps. I think that they are so much fun, just to look and see what is in a place, historic sites and things like that. This is a card that says travel memories, and it has a pointing finger, which is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, and some more ephemera for you to play with inside this pocket. More papers. And you'll notice that this is kind of arranged in a double pocket fashion. Again, I have folded pockets and then not use them because they didn't match what I was doing, or because they were too big or too small or whatever. So you'll notice some double pockets in these books as well. A hold tag. A small little pocket for you. It looks like burlap, and some pattern paper for you to play with. That's kind of like tissue paper, and you can just do all kinds of like decoupage and stuff on that. The Kool-Aid guy, we have some sticky notes for you right there. This is a pad of paper. We were super fond of telling your story, so it's kind of a leftover from when we were doing our story in all of our flow journals. This is a paper stencil for you to play with. Beautiful napkin. Now these are my coffee dyed and tea dyed papers. I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I really do love doing it. I like hanging those papers out on my baker's rack and letting the sun dry them. I think there's just something enchanting about the sun soaking into these elements. There's something enchanting about the sun anyway, and I sure do wish that it would come back to us because it hasn't been around in a while. This is a cupid or a cherub, and it's a pocket for you guys to play with. So it's got the cherub in here, and then it's got an element on the back. But cherub would not kind of fit at the top, so that's why he's hanging upside down. He's a rebel cherub. ABC stickers for you guys to play with. More fabric swatches, and this little pocket is just packed full of things for you to play with. Some Project Life cards and all kinds of papers and things like that. So Adelaide will be in the shop a little later on this afternoon. I call this book Betty Draper. Now, if you did not watch Mad Men, this means nothing to you. But I watched the first couple seasons of Mad Men until I tired of Don Draper. Quite frankly, I just got tired of Don, and I felt bad for Betty. So this book is called Betty Draper. The fabric it reminds me of the 60s. And I loved Mad Men because it gave me a glimpse into the era when I was a child. The decor, the food. I remember Betty Draper one night feeding her kids a TV dinner. TV dinners were pretty radical and different in the 60s. Not like they are now. They're kind of ubiquitous, and I think everybody has one in their freezer. But this fabric just reminded me of the 60s, so she's a Betty Draper. She's finished with paper beads, and these are handmade paper beads, a few plastic beads. These are those etched beads that are really super cool. They look like metal, but they are not. And then I finished her off with a couple of really pretty lampwork beads that someone had given me several years ago. I love lampwork beads. That is a work of art, friends, a work of art. Let's take Betty Draper out for a spin. This little book starts off with this funny thing that Miss R sent me, and it says scrapbooker, artist, designer, photographer, hoarder, and mastered organizer. I think that's so sweet. It kind of hits all our elements, doesn't it? I also got some washi tape from Art Angel that I am making liberal use of. It says, don't forget, and I love that. I am a big fan of forgettery. I think that it's best to forget and move on. I do not think that holding on to things is a great way to live your life. I believe that you need to come to terms with whatever it is and let that sucker go. That's exactly what I believe. A lot of people don't. That's okay. I'm just passing along some yammering to you guys. This is a 1916 Poems of Today anthology published for the English Association by Sidgwick and Jackson in 1916. It's quite lovely. Beautiful Peter Newell illustrations from Alice in Wonderland. A vintage Christmas card right here. This is one of my glue book pages. I'm super fond right this minute of passing along my glue books and my original art to you guys. It does no good sitting on a shelf, and I think that you guys would enjoy it. And for me, it makes me happy to be able to give you, something that is unique and original and different. I don't have punches. So when you get a book from me, it's not going to have a whole bunch of punch stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's cool if that's what you want. I even cut out my own pockets. I don't have punches. I don't have stuff like that. So all of my elements are hand done, hand created. A bit of painty paper for you. A map. We are just super fond of travel ephemera right now. I like it because it's summertime and we're thinking about going places. This is African American history, Lawson D. Franklin. This is specific to East Tennessee. More page. I love this, y'all. It's the buggy mobiles. This is called a beach wagon here. Isn't that neat? What do you think about traveling by wagon? This is the 1960 Audell's DIY book. This is the 1942 Red Cross Nursing Manual. Some sweet vintage. That's the king of puppy dog feet. Okay, I can't remember, but it's the king of puppy dog feet. Somebody told me it's puppy dog feet. I know that's not right, but gosh, it's a good thing that I'm not a gambler. I could not do it. One of my favorite gambling movies, it's not really a gambling movie, one of my favorite movies is Rain Man. When Tom Cruise takes Raymond to the casino and he wins a bunch of money, and oh my goodness, it's just so funny. I just love it. Are you counting cards? Yes, I'm counting cards. This is some French text, vintage French text for you guys. T. Dodd Bacchus. We like Bacchus. This is probably one of my favorite things I've ever done. It's red, white, and blue, and it says breathe. And I think that I probably did this around July of 2 or 3 years ago. It's a great reminder. And the vintage Christmas card was from Kathy, but she signs her name Kath, and it is 1950, y'all. Peter Newell illustration. This is from the 1916 book. Bobbsey Twins at Home. Miss Carol gave us this, and I love it. Bobbsey Twins was on my grandma's shelf, too, and that was her Bobbsey Twin books when she was a child. So lots of fun things, fun memorabilia from people who are so generous as to send me a box of things to play with and things to pass along to you guys. I'm overwhelmed with appreciation for everything I get, every little piece. It's just, it's really magic, y'all. It's really magic. We got some ABCs for you to play with. This is the pocket that I showed you guys how to make in lesson 6 of how to use a flow journal. So if you want to add pockets to this, then there's one to go by. 1983 encyclopedia, some beautiful napkins. This is from that same book, and I'll have to figure out I can't remember what the name of the book is, but goodness me, it is just stunning. This is National Geographic. That's 2002 National Geographic. Newspaper, Japanese newspaper, painty papers for you. Top 10 things to do in Loudoun County. That's a fold out right there. And more of those beautiful papers. Look at that. I mean, it's just styled so beautifully. And the papers are, look, color block right there, y'all. Make you some paper beads. More of the vintage game ephemera. Love that stuff. More vintage game ephemera right here. This is a big sticker. This is a photography ephemera, and your card says snapshot. This is a paper stencil, more fabric for you to play with. This is an element that you guys can put together. It's a frame, it's a beautiful angel. This is from a German paper pack, and she has a frame right here. And there's a napkin that kind of fits that it matches everything right here. Again, a double pocket for you, a hold sticker, hold tag, maps, tea-dyed papers, places for you to write. I am super fond of paper bags right this minute, and this paper bag is just chock full of things for you to play with, fabric scraps, leather scraps, all kinds of cool stuff in there. Play, play, play. This is, look, that says highlight. I really like that. This page has some pattern paper, some ABCs, some tea-dyed paper, and this is from Gail. Gail she really took that How to Distress Magazine Images video to heart. People, she is taking her Yellow Pages ads and distressing them. It looks like instant ephemera. She's so smart. Gail, got it going on, girl. Another piece of original art for you. A little package of stick-on pearls. More pink for you. Garden ephemera right here. This is an ancient paper pack, and this is my last little bit of it. Reminds me of going roller skating over at Kate's skating rink when I was a teenager. Man, that was the place to meet and greet and steal you a kiss in the game room when you were playing the pinball machine. Not that I ever did that, but we'll just say that. This is more of the vintage dictionary page from the Sistine Chapel. This is Adam from the Sistine Chapel. That was an experience, you guys. 500 people crammed into this tiny, tiny room, and you could not take pictures. 500 people looking up. It was remarkable. I've never had an experience like that in my life. More things for you to play with. This is an 8 of Hearts. I know that one. Yay for me. A whole ticket. I love the colors right here. These are called mistables, and you can spray them or color them, or, you can marker them, and they're little stick-ons. And I just had a whole lot, so I thought, well, I'll pass along some love to you guys for them. Another Miss Gail piece. This illustration is crazy wonderful. It is, I believe it's 1950. It is Johnny Appleseed, and there's the story of Johnny Appleseed is under here, but the colors of it are just exceptional. Very old piece of paper, so be careful with that one. More maps and papers to play with. Pretty flowers. A vintage postcard. I love these things. It's 6/6/93, 1993, and they come to the Department of Medicine at Hartford Hospital in Hartford, Connecticut. So you know that someone was traveling and sent his or her co-workers, I can't read the signature, a postcard from where they were traveling, It's just so neat. And I have left the original cellophane tape on these because to me that tells a story. To me, I can see that on a wall in a break room with doctors and nurses and a big coffee pot and maybe a television in there to keep up with current events. I see that. We're off on an adventure, another map right there for you, and a project life card. I will have these giant Big Berthas in the shop a little later on today, so please go to the shop and pick one up. I do have several of the smaller starter journals left, and there are a couple Traveler's Notebook junk journals in there as well, and I think there are a couple more of the junk packs that were the dressmaker junk packs too. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Have a terrific Tuesday. See you later. Bye.